what does the audience need to know about your upbringing that gives us a little more context into who the guy they're listening to is today?
Okay. Well, the thing about my upbringing and who I am today, there's basically two lives there. And the um, uh, the young man that was raised in West Texas and Odessa, Texas, by a World War II veteran that was part of the D-Day invasion and the Battle of the Bulge. That military mindset that my dad used in training me when I was young, um, and the young man that came out of that training and went into life is very different than the guy that went back to play football in 2007. Um, I was handed a pair of boxing gloves when I was 6, and we started that day boxing, and that went on for 7 years on a weekly basis, sometimes, multiple times during the week. And my dad was a beer drinker, and, sometimes he hit a little too hard. But, he told me I was tough enough, I could take it, and I could. And so I was a good person. Um, I was not a troublemaker, but I became a trouble seeker because I didn't mind fighting. And in West Texas, you have to understand the Roughnecks in the oil field, the Cowboys, and then football. And so if you don't mind fighting, there's going to be lots of opportunities. And for me, it was I wasn't a troublemaker, but I became a trouble seeker. If I saw someone that I felt like needed my help, was being bullied, I'd jump in a heartbeat. I carried that mindset. My senior year in high school, we won state championship for the first time. That inspired the book and the subsequent movie Friday Night Lights at Permian High School. And I was, pardon me, I was a very good football player when I was young, and received multiple full football scholarship offers. And I ended up down at a college called Sul Ross State University. Sul is short for Sullivan. Sullivan Ross was a former governor of the state of Texas. And my sophomore year, I had over 100 tackles in the Lone Star Conference. And my junior year, I had over 100 tackles again. I had 24 tackles in one game. I was team captain. I was an all-conference linebacker. But in spite of the stellar reputation I had with my teammates, the administration did not share that opinion of me. I had 10 off-the-field fistfights over that 2-year time period that had me on their radar. So I come back from my senior year in 1971. We're picked to win the conference. We went 8-3 the year before. We have everybody back, and I was team captain. I was checking rooms to make sure everyone that was in at curfew. A couple of guys weren't in. One of them took exception to me telling him when he could and couldn't come and go. It got physical, and he got hurt. The difference in this situation was the president of the college was called. The head coach had me in his office the next morning, bright and early. The coaches were in my room packing my things, and he told me that he was going to have to ask me not to be part of the team, and he had no choice. The president of the college had called him. He said, "It's you or Mike Flynt. Who's it going to be?" So I had to call my dad to meet us on the highway. The coaches were going to take me halfway to Odessa. My dad started, what's happening? What are you doing? And I said, "Dad, I got in a fight." And he started chewing me out over the phone, and I just interrupted him. And I said, "Daddy, look, I am exactly what you made me." And he never said anything else to me about it after that. So, that was the young man that got kicked out all those years ago. I was not an angry person. People have asked me, "Why were you so angry?" I wasn't angry. um, I was really good at what I did, and I took it too far. I made I made a lot of poor decisions, as we many times do when we're young. And then, I went into the fitness business, became a strength and conditioning coach at University of Nebraska, University of Oregon, Texas A&M, and developed fitness equipment, received a patent on some of my equipment. Just basically went into the fitness business. And along the way, I met a beautiful young co-ed when I was living in Austin, Texas, and we fell in love, and she changed my whole life. She introduced me to Jesus Christ, and so after I got out of the fitness business, I um, you know stayed in shape. I never stopped. I've always told people that not every journey has to have a destination. You just have to move forward. Sometimes you got to wait, and that destination will show up. And in my case, that's what happened. I was 59, found out through happenstance that I still had a semester of eligibility left at that college that I'd been kicked out of, and I walked on. The coach gave me a shot, and I tell people, when you're 59 and coach says, "Yeah, I'll give you a chance to go through two-a-days and make the team." If you're not ready, you're not going to get ready to play college football. But I'd always had this saying about myself that I'm always about 30 days away from being in really good shape. I never stopped running sprints. I never stopped lifting heavy. And so when coach said, "Okay, you be here, I'm going to give you a chance," I was ready.